Most people think any mature tree adds value to a property, but that is absolutely not true. Some trees scare buyers, trigger insurance concerns, crack driveways, clog sewer lines, drop limbs in storms, and quietly tell a home inspector, "There's expensive trouble coming." Curious, and number 2 on this list is one people plant because it grows fast and gives quick shade, then spend the next 15 years paying for that decision in pruning, damage, and removal costs. Excited. I've also got a bonus tip at the end that can help you figure out whether a tree on your property is an asset or a liability before you ever call a realtor. Hey Root Keeper, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome to the Root Keeper, the channel where we learn how to grow smarter, spend less, and build landscapes that actually last instead of draining your wallet every season. I wanted to cover this one because trees can be one of the best parts of a yard, but they can also be one of the biggest hidden reasons a property feels risky to a buyer. If you're someone who wants a beautiful landscape that helps your home instead of hurting it, do me a favor and hit subscribe right now. And turn on notifications because I post practical garden and landscape advice that helps you avoid expensive mistakes before they become expensive regrets. It's free, and it takes 1 second. Now, real talk. A 40% drop is a headline number, not some universal rule. Property value depends on market, region, lot size, buyer demand, and how severe the tree issue is. But what is absolutely real is this. The wrong tree in the wrong spot can knock down offers, delay a sale, trigger demanded credits, or make buyers walk away entirely. That's the part people underestimate. They see a tree. Buyers see cleanup, roof risk, root damage, shade problems, insurance questions, and future bills. All right, let's get into it. Starting with number 5. Number 5 is Bradford pear, the split-prone mess. Bradford pear was planted all over suburban neighborhoods because it grows fast, blooms heavily in spring, and starts out looking neat and symmetrical for about 5 minutes. Then it turns into exactly what it is, a weak-wooded ornamental that loves to split apart in storms. Mature trees usually hit 30 to 50 feet tall with a 20 to 30-foot spread, and once those narrow branch angles develop, the structure is basically asking for failure. Here's what most people miss. Even before the tree actually breaks, buyers can see the risk. If they've owned a home before, they know what happens next. Storm cleanup, roof damage, fence damage, maybe a car underneath. And the smell of the blooms? I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but if you know, you know. Removing a large Bradford can cost $800 to $2,500 depending on location and access. Not exactly a selling feature. But if you think that's bad, wait until you see number 4. This next one gets planted for quick screening and then turns into a maintenance treadmill. Number 4 is leyland cypress, the privacy wall that ages badly. People plant leylands because they shoot up fast, often 3 to 4 feet a year when they're happy, and in just a few seasons you've got a green screen. That speed is exactly why they get people in trouble. Mature size is often 60 to 70 feet tall and 15 to 25 feet wide, which is way bigger than most homeowners planned for when they stuck a row of them 6 feet off the fence or 10 feet from the house. The part nobody mentions is how ugly the maintenance gets once they outgrow the space. Browning interiors, bagworms, cankers, storm breakage, overcrowding, roots competing with everything nearby. And when one goes bad in a row, the whole screen starts looking tired. Buyers see a future removal bill, and a row of mature leylands can cost several $1,000s to remove. I've seen estimates from $3,000 to $8,000 for a bad line of them. Gone. That fast. Now the next one is where things get more familiar. This is a classic shade tree people still plant because they want fast results. Number 3 is silver maple, the shallow-rooted bully. Silver maple grows quickly, which is why people love it at first. You can get 3 to 5 feet of growth in a good year, and within 8 to 10 years it starts giving real shade. Sounds good until the roots start lifting sidewalks, crowding foundations, invading old pipes, and making mowing a pain because surface roots rise like knuckles through the lawn. Mature size is often 50 to 80 feet tall with a broad canopy to match. Here's what most people miss. The fast growth above ground usually means fast growth below ground too. Add weak branching and storm damage risk. And now the buyer isn't seeing shade. They're seeing deferred maintenance. If the tree is within 20 feet of the house, driveway, or sewer line, that concern goes up fast. And honestly, this is one I almost never think is worth planting in a standard suburban yard. Okay, this next one, I have a lot to say about this because people keep planting it even though the pattern is so predictable. Number 2 is willow, the thirsty destroyer. Weeping willow and similar types get planted because they look graceful, dramatic, and kind of timeless. I get the appeal. I really do. But near homes, septic lines, sewer laterals, driveways, or foundations, they are a nightmare waiting for a moisture source. These trees can hit 30 to 50 feet tall and just as wide, and the roots can travel far beyond the drip line looking for water. Here's the trick. The damage doesn't always show up right away. For the first few years, it feels fine. Then a line backs up. A wet spot develops. A sidewalk starts shifting. A drainage issue becomes a repair bill. And once a buyer hears willow near sewer, good luck unringing that bell. Sewer line replacements can run $4,000 to $15,000 depending on depth and location. That's real money. Beautiful tree for a pond edge or open acreage. Terrible tree near a house. And now number 1. In my opinion, this is the tree that most often turns from nice shade into, please get that thing away from the structure in the eyes of buyers, inspectors, and insurance people. Number 1 is eucalyptus, the giant fire and fall risk. In the right climate, eucalyptus grows unbelievably fast. Some types can put on 6 feet a year when young, and mature trees may reach 40 to 100 feet depending on species and conditions. That sounds impressive until you factor in peeling bark, heavy limbs, oil-rich foliage, messy drop, and major fire concerns in dry regions. Here's what most people miss. Even in non-fire zones, buyers see a tree that sheds constantly, grows huge, and can drop large branches without much warning. In windy weather, that matters. Near roofs, that matters even more. Insurance companies in some markets pay very close attention to large trees with overhang risk, and eucalyptus absolutely lands on that radar. Removal can range from $2,000 to well over $10,000 for a large specimen near structures. And this is the part that gets me. People plant them because they want quick privacy or fast height, then years later they've got a towering liability they can't afford to ignore. Hey, quick pause. If you're getting value from this, smash that like button. It helps more root keepers find this channel. And tell me in the comments, what tree do buyers seem to fear the most where you live? I genuinely want to know. All right, let's keep going. Now, I know the title says 5 trees, but I want to give you something more useful than just a list of villains. Because sometimes it's not the species alone, it's the species plus the placement, the age, and the condition. A healthy oak 40 feet from the house may add value. A weak silver maple hanging over the roof does the opposite. A well-pruned ornamental in the right scale can make a property feel established. A giant root-hungry tree jammed between the driveway and the foundation makes people tense the second they pull up. That difference matters a lot. Here's what most people miss. Buyers are not evaluating trees like gardeners. They're evaluating them like people about to inherit costs. If a tree blocks sunlight into the house, drops debris into the gutters every week, threatens the fence, shades out the lawn, or leans over the roof line, it starts reading like a problem even if it's technically alive and fine. That's why some trees can hurt perceived value way before they cause obvious damage. Perception counts, especially in real estate. Now for that bonus tip, because this is the simple filter I use when looking at whether a tree is helping or hurting a property. Ask 3 questions. First, is it the right size for the space at maturity? Second, is it at least half its mature height away from major structures, or close enough to raise concern? Third, would an average buyer look at it and think shade, beauty, and privacy, or roots, cleanup, and risk? I started using that lens years ago, and it changed how I looked at established landscapes. If you want to start today, walk outside and stand at the curb. If the first thing you notice is a tree crowding the house, the buyer will notice it too. So there you have it. 5 trees that can seriously hurt your property value when they're planted in the wrong place or allowed to outgrow the lot. Here's what I want you to do. Pick one large tree on your property this week and assess it honestly. Just one. Check the distance from structures, the branch structure, the root behavior, and whether it feels like an asset or a liability. Start there. If this helped you, share it with someone who's landscaping for resale or trying to clean up a property before listing it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that button. We're building something here. Tell me in the comments, which tree do you think does the most damage to a home's value where you live? Keep growing deep. I'll see you in the next one.